All right, we are recording. Okay, so guys, I'm so excited. Last month was record breaking. It was our highest sales ever by a landslide, like just so incredible. And y'all were every single one of you were a part of that. So tell me, like, if y'all track your volumes or if you're looking at your volume total by distributor report in eSuite, tell me how much your volume went up last month. I know some people were saying that theirs went up like 142% or something. I don't know percentages, but I'm just like, bro, we knocked it out of the water. We are more than double what we were 2 months ago, which is crazy for a team this size to double their volumes like that. Carly. I love it. Oh my gosh, guys, it's just nuts. Like, this is momentum. And so I want to just remind you too that momentum is the hardest thing to get and it's the easiest thing to lose. And I know Cami was on here with us last week, which was so fun. I freaking love her. If y'all don't know who she is yet, you totally need to because she's great. But she was talking about, how one time she was going through a huge run in this business and she told her dad, which is the CEO of the company, and she said, Dad, I'm tired. And he said, no, you're not. You're not tired. You need to just keep going because it's the times that you slow down and you stop that you wish that you had the craziness back, right? Like, some of us feel overwhelmed at times. Some of us feel like, oh my gosh, my phone will not stop blowing up. Some of us felt like last night I was literally like a walking zombie. I was like, I haven't slept in 87 days and like, this is just crazy. Like, what is healthy food? What is a vegetable? I don't even know. Like, it's just nuts. Absolutely crazy. But you know what, guys? A couple of months ago, that wasn't happening. I felt very refreshed as far as sleep. I felt very wide awake. I felt, I was doing all these things and business wasn't booming. And I can tell you that I would rather take the sleepless nights and the maxed out Zooms and all of the just craziness, responding to people's messages, being on a FaceTime over here so I could be on the Zoom on my computer, all at the same time and just juggling all the craziness. I would choose that and what happened last month over just chilling and having so much extra sleep and just being able to do all of these things. And it's not that you can't have both. It's that whenever this momentum comes like this, you don't sleep on it. You don't stop the momentum. And so I think that that's the biggest thing um, is there is no balance when it comes to this business, okay? And so you don't have to work yourself to death. That's not what we're saying. But for some of you, there are going to be sacrifices that you have to make, big and small. I know for me, I'm going for a really, really, really big goal. And so my sacrifice level is going to look different than your sacrifice level. And that's okay. And that makes sense. But I want every single one of you to remember that the things that you're going for aren't just going to happen to you. I know that there are so many diamonds. If you went diamond last month, put a 1 in the chat. There are so many of you. And if you went diamond last month, I can guarantee you not a single person who went diamond last month checked their eSuite today and was like, oh my gosh, oh, I went diamond last month. Oh, look at that. That's cool. No, they were working for that. They were like grinding for that promotion and they don't regret it for a single bit. And they for sure won't regret it on the 8th when they see that paycheck. So I can tell you right now, the times when I've had momentum in my business and I have ridden that wave, I never look back in a year or two from then when I'm paying off debt, whenever I'm being able to build my dream home at the age of 25 years old and being able to go on vacations in cash with my husband and being able to pay for my wedding in cash and just being able to say yes to things we never thought we could. I don't look back on those days and think, I wish I had slept more. I wish that I had just gone out with my friends more. And I'm not saying that you can't sleep. I'm not saying you can't go out with your friends. Okay, so don't hear that. But what I am saying is that I don't regret the little sacrifices that I make because I know, and it's been proven throughout my life. And I know some of you are just like banking on faith and saying, okay, well, she said this is going to happen, so I'm trusting her. But I can tell you from experience that it is so much better to say no to the little things now so you can say yes to the big things later. For me, last month, what that practically looked like was our friend he has a boat and he asked us to go on the boat. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to go this time. I'll go next time. But this time I'm going to stay home and I'm going to work. And we had 81 people on our team get pay raises last month. Was missing one boat ride worth that to me? Absolutely. Was getting closer to the goal of being the top rank in the company, was that worth it to me? Absolutely. Yes, it was. And will we be able to buy a boat in cash one day? Because I said that absolutely. Like, I'm going for the big stuff, guys. I'm not here for the boat ride. I'm here to buy the boat in cash. And it's those things that are going to keep you going. Like, you have to look at the bigger picture. Some of you are just so focused on where you're at right now and the little bit of volume that you need. You're like, oh, I'll just wait till the 25th and I'll just make it work then. I'll just make it happen then. I'll wait till the end of the month and then I'll really grind. I'll really give it all I've got. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy my summer. You can enjoy summers a lot more when you're doing summer in cash, when you get to go to the Bahamas in cash, when you get to do the things in cash. And no, it's not all about the money, but when you're shooting for a promotion, isn't that something that you think about? You don't shoot for a promotion for the friendships, okay? Like, friendships are an awesome part of this business, but you don't shoot for a promotion for a friendship. You shoot for a promotion because you want more money. And that's what we joined this business for, is to help other people make that extra income. And so I can guarantee you there have been small sacrifices that I've made and I don't even remember them. But what I do remember is being able to pay for my wedding and then telling us the amounts that things cost. And we said, yep, put it on the card, debit card, here you go. Yep, here's some cash. Yep, that's fine. Nope, we don't need a loan. Yep, we'll do that. We go and find a Tahoe that we like, and they were like, all right, so which bank do you want to try to use for the loan? I said, nope, we're doing a cashier's check. How much do you need? And we handed them a cashier's check. We bought my Tahoe in cash because I said no to small things. At 25 years old, we bought cars in cash. We built a house that people all around us are like 40 years old because there's no one our age that lives here. And so we are able to do those things because we said no to the small things. So yes, this does require a level of sacrifice, but it's also meant to be fun. And one thing that I can tell you right now is I'm having more fun than I've ever had in my whole entire business. And that just makes me so excited. I'd rather be, grinding and so excited and doing all these things and taking full advantage of the time that we're in and doing all the things that I want to do, and then being able to, reap the benefits later. And because of the work that I'm putting in now, right? Does that make sense? Put some twos in the chat if you're like, yes, okay, that makes sense. Because I just want to make sure that I'm like resonating with y'all. But I don't want you, if this is like one of your first Zooms, what I'm not saying is like run yourself into the ground. If you don't do this business 24/7, you won't be successful. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that for me, whenever I first joined this business, my sacrifice level looked different. I didn't want to right now I'm shooting for goals like hitting the top rank in the company, joining the Millionaires Club, being able to, pay off all of these different debts and being able to do all of these things. That's my goal now. Okay, so my sacrifice level looks different. But when I first joined this business, I wanted gas money and grocery money. So my sacrifice level wasn't to this extent. Back then, what that looked like was instead of waking up at 7, because that's when I needed to get up to go to one of my 2 jobs, and before I went to school every day, because I was working 2 jobs and going to school, it looked like me waking up at 6 instead of at 7. And I got my stuff done for this business in the morning before that and put in the effort and put in the time. And then I went to my 2 jobs that I absolutely hated, that I ended up being able to quit because of the consistency of putting in that hour of work beforehand. Does that make sense? It's the compound effect, guys. It adds up. But then there are going to be spurts of time like this where I'm just like 24/7, like, let's go. And I love it. And you can learn to love it too. And you don't have to be somebody who's even money driven to love it. Like I see the people on this team who just are like, I just love the people and the friendships, but you joined it for the income. You joined this business to do things with your life that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do, or you wouldn't be here. And so don't let this pass you by, okay? Make sure that you're taking advantage of the time that we're in, because if you did just join, holy crap, you just joined at the best time ever. I've been in this business for 5.5 years, and typically like the spring is usually like boom season. I mean, that's pretty normal that we have this, but if you've been in this business and you've seen a spring already, it's nothing like what we're seeing right now. Like, it's nothing even close. Like, it's never been like this. And so whenever I say you're in the right place at the right time, I mean, you're in a company who prays over their people. Our CEO's wife prays over every single seat in the arena where we have conference before we go and sit down. Every single time we were at conference in February in Florida, they pray over us. They prayed over us on the family call last night. Well, somebody put Mark's name in the chat for me, because if you go look up his name, Megan's got it. If you look up the name on Facebook, he's our CEO, Mark Pentecost, and he went live last night for our family call, which he does every Sunday night at 10 p.m. And they were talking about, you know, the issues that are going on in the world right now, and just the racial and social injustices that are happening. And they were very loud about their stance on that, which is obviously that it's totally unacceptable. And they were prayed over the people, you know, prayed over all of the issues that were going on. And so that's the heart of the company that you are working with. They, you know, the floods that happen in Michigan, the forest fires that happen in Australia, we give back. We're able to give back money every month to be able to go towards our Gives Back Foundation, our It Works Gives Back Foundation. And our foundation for Gives Back donated to all of those causes, all the things that you see happening around the world. Yes, the tornadoes in Nashville, the efforts and the reliefs that Samaritan's Purse does throughout the whole world. They're giving the money for them to put their feet on the ground in these places that need our help. And so that's the company that you're partnering with. 10% back of every order that we get, or actually, I don't know if it's 10% back, but a percentage of every single customer who orders, a percentage of that goes back to the Selah Freedom Foundation that helps rescue people from human trafficking. I don't know if y'all knew that, but it does. Every single time you sign up a customer, you're helping people be rescued from human trafficking. And that's the company that we are a part of. Okay, that was really off topic, but I just like love the heart of it. But beyond that, like, the momentum that we have right now, the products that we have, the product line that we have that you can't get anywhere else, that stuff is like, it's nuts. And I'm so glad that you're here, because you're getting to experience all of this and you don't know any different. Like, this is your normal. And I love that, because it tells me that you're going to be set up for such success in this business, because you're like, okay, this is what we do. We just promote and we get it done, and let's go. And so if you joined in May, on May 2nd, up until today, you're eligible to be able to get a diamond bonus whenever you promote to the rank of diamond in 3 full calendar months. So if you don't know what that means, get with your enroller and let them help you talk about that. But I know so many of you are pushing for that. So many of you are eligible for that. So this is just such an exciting time, and I'm so thankful just to be a part of this with all of y'all. So let's just talk a little bit about this month and what that's going to look like. I know we've done a lot of good things last month, and I've just kind of bragged on y'all for the whole first part of this. But now it's time to do it again, because it's not over. We're not done. So many of you hit your goals and hit your promotions that you wanted to hit, but now it's time to dream bigger. You're not just here to go diamond. You're here to hit double too. I know I'm going to shout out Hannah Durden, because she's just like right on my first screen. So she was like, guys, I'm going diamond. Last month, she was like, I'm going diamond. I'm going diamond. And she didn't quite make diamond, but that's okay, because this morning she said, screw diamond, I'm going double. And she was like, I'm 3 distributors away from being chartered for double. Like, her and her team are totally killing it. So if you're on her team, shout out to y'all too. They're killing it. And she was like, she could have sat there and been like, well, I didn't hit diamond and this and this and this, and I missed my goal, and so I'm not going to do this. But no, she sent me a double diamond chart instead. And she was like, all right, then how about this then? Like, because she worked so hard for diamond last month and just came up barely short, that's too small of a goal for her to shoot for again this month. So she's going to shoot for double instead. So maybe that speaks to some of you who have been playing really small and saying, you know what, I'm just going to make sure that I can hit this promotion, when really you should be going for another promotion beyond that. And one thing that I will say is that chart-wise, so many people on our team hit promotions last month that needed to happen for us to go ambassador, and our volume still wasn't quite where we needed it to be. And so what that means is that every single one of you promoting this month and promoting beyond where you technically need to be on my chart, that is going to be how we go ambassador. So I'm looking at you dead in the eye and telling you, I need you to show up every day this month. I need you to get in. Every single customer you bring in counts. Every distributor that you're helping train counts. Every person that you're helping go to hit Ruby counts. So every single thing that you're doing matters. So make sure that you're not waiting until the last minute, because if you do, you're going to wish that you hadn't. If you were somebody who waited until the last minute last month and you came up short on your promotion, and you would be brave enough to put it in the chat, put a 3 and just say, hey, I did that and it totally sucked and I wish that I hadn't done it. But I've learned from my mistakes and I am moving on and I am doing the whole thing this whole entire month and I'm not slowing down. I love that honesty. I think so many of you did push really, really hard last month and you were like, day one, let's go. Do it again. But for those of you who waited last month and didn't quite hit your promotion, it's not too late for you. It's not too late for you to say, you know what, I'm going to start right now. And I'm going to actually give it everything I've got, because I gave it half of what I had last month and look where we ended up. What would happen if I gave it all that we had this month? Where would we end up then? And so I think that it's so important for you to make sure that you are truly, truly doing all that you can to make sure that you are working for your, not only your own goals, but for your team's goals. Get your teams together. Who on your team wants to promote? Who on your team is pushing hard? Who on your team is running with you? And maybe you're somebody who's like, you know what, I don't have a team yet. Okay, perfect. That's what we're going to work on. We're going to get you a team and we're going to work with you to be able to help you start getting some distributors so that you can help them make an extra income. That's going to help you go Ruby, and then you're going to help them go Ruby, and that's just going to help you even more too. It's like what Zig Ziglar says. He said the more people that you can help get what they want, it's going to help give you what you want. And so make sure that you're digging deep down in your teams and saying, these are the things that we're going to do this month. Be loud about your goals. Last month was a huge, like, I don't want y'all to think that, you know, any of the things I'm saying right now is coming from a place of like, I have my stuff together, so all of you need to get your stuff together. It's very much coming from a place of, this is what I realized last month. And it was just mind-blowing, because you would think by now that I would know more than what I do, but really, like, we don't know any more than what y'all do. We just have been doing this longer. Like, we're still learning every single day, and so I really want to be very real and honest with y'all. Like, last month it was really scary because I told some leaders that this, you know, a couple minutes ago, but I was saying I was nervous about putting my goal out there and saying, we're going to go ambassador, we're going to go ambassador, we're going to go ambassador. I was really nervous about doing that last month. Couple reasons. Number one, because I was nervous that I was going to say it and that we wouldn't hit it and that y'all would be disappointed. Number two, I was worried that I would say it, that we wouldn't hit it, and that y'all would think that it was just like white noise if I kept saying it again, right? Like, because I said it last month, we didn't hit it, now I'm saying it again, and you're like, oh, okay, well, she said that before, you know? I didn't know. I was worried about all these things. I was so nervous to put it out on social media. Drop a 4 in the comments if you're like, I'm going for diamond, but I'm doing it real quietly because I don't want anybody to know, because I'm scared that I won't hit it, and I'm scared I'm going to just going to be embarrassed, or whatever the word is for that. Yes, that's literally me. Or diamond or double or triple or presidential or whatever it is that you're shooting for. For me, I was so worried that I would say that I'm going ambassador and that I would miss it. And everybody would be like, wow, she sucks. But here's the truth. Number one, and I don't mean this in a negative way towards me or towards you, but nobody actually thinks about you as much as you think about yourself. It's just the truth. Everybody thinks about themselves the most, right? So like, is anybody actually sitting on their couch wondering about my ambassador promotion on the 30th of the month? Like, some of my friends are, and some of my friends did check in with me, but like, they're not sitting there on the first, like, I wonder what happened with Morgan. Like, no. And some of them did message me and say, hey, how close did you get? How, did you do it? And like, I had so many messages, but guys, none of them were like, wow. They were all like, oh, that's okay. You got it this month. Like, you'll do it. You can do it. Like, and now, if we didn't already have a tribe of people rooting for us to go ambassador, we sure do now. Like, we're like grabbing people from the sidelines and they're all jumping in, like marching with us. Like, we got this, we can do this. So the worst thing that could happen is that you put it out there and you miss it and you have more people cheering for you next month. And what I loved about last month is that I did put my goals out there even though I was nervous, and my worst fear actually did happen, and I realized it wasn't actually that bad. And I'm actually not that afraid of it anymore. So I will never again be afraid to put my goals out there because I might miss them. I'm never going to be afraid to do that anymore. But it just took me stepping out in faith and saying, I'm going to put it out there, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I think that it's really important that you do, because when I put my goal out there and I told y'all my goal and I got loud with my team about where we were going, things just started to happen. And I don't know, like, if y'all were here last month, because I don't want to take for granted thinking that everybody was here last month, especially like the whole time, because I know some people maybe were just here in the last like week or so. But I don't want to take for granted that. But if you were here last month and you saw it, you were like, literally, what is happening? Like, you blinked and like 82 more people joined the business, and then you blinked and your volume was up like 1,000, and then you blinked again and 8 people went diamond, and you're like, what's happening? Like, what is happening? Like, what, this is crazy. And so that's what happens when you put your goal out there for your team. Get loud and tell them, hey, we're a diamond team. We are a double diamond team. And say it so much that they do what y'all did last month, where you said Morgan's ambassador. Already today, people on Mark's live, y'all were tagging me at Morgan Martin is ambassador this month. At Morgan Martin is ambassador. Y'all were texting me and saying, hey, Morgan Martin ambassador diamond, I have a question. You know, like, y'all are texting me all those things, and just you were repeating it back to me. So my challenge to you is to say your goals so much for your team that they repeat it back to you. And I know some of you are thinking, well, how do I make that not selfish? Because how is me shooting for a goal that ends up me having to help you change your life selfish? Because by me going ambassador, you have to go diamond. And I'm helping you go diamond. I am helping you get this bonus. I'm helping you change lives. So it's never selfish to want more, because I'll tell you this, Chloe went triple diamond last month, and now her whole team, every single person on her team is shooting for triple diamond. I said, that's because you showed them that they could. You did it first to show them that they could. When you showed them it was possible, now they're doing it too. But if you had never shot for that, they wouldn't even know it was possible. So me going ambassador tells you, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can go ambassador too. And so don't think that it's making it all about you. A promotion couldn't be more selfless if you're doing it the right way. This is all about us doing it together as a team. So don't think that, like, oh, if I say that I'm going triple diamond and like telling my team like we're a triple diamond team, that's not selfish. Because it's looking at them and saying, hey, I believe in you. And I believe in you enough to say that I know you can go diamond and I'm going to help you get there. So those, hopefully that helps, you know. Put a, I don't know, we're on a weird number. Put a 1 in the chat if that helped. It made you super excited. So, okay. So the next thing, and we're going to have some of our triple diamonds hop on here too and talk about some complacency, because I think that it's a very real thing, and I don't want that to be something that we fall into this month, because if any of us get complacent, we're gonna miss our goal. And all of you that went diamond and above have to validate your promotions, and so many of you are shooting for diamond. So we want to keep this momentum going, which is what I've been talking about the whole time. So make sure that you put your blinders on. I know so many of you are looking left and looking right now, thinking, well, they did this, but I don't know if I can do it. Or, oh my gosh, but I don't look like them. Or, oh my gosh, but my team doesn't do this like their team does. Or, oh my gosh, like they enroll so many more people than me. Or, oh my gosh, like they're where they're at because they're a mass enroller and they're just really good at this business and they look a certain way and I can't post that way, you know? Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever compared yourself. I'll have 87 2s in the chat, okay? Like, we've all compared ourselves at one point or another to somebody, whether they're in this business or not. But here's the thing, guys. The Bible says the comparison is a thief of joy. If you are allowing somebody else to determine how you feel about your own self, then that is only going to bring you the lack of joy. That's never going to make you more excited. And guess what? Those thoughts don't serve you. Do not allow them to stay there. Put your blinders on. And what that looks like is like this. And one thing that I did whenever I first joined that I am thankful for is that I wasn't following all the top leaders. I didn't even know who they were. Funny story really quick. I went to an event in Grand Rapids, which is where I live, Michigan. And Cammie, who is now our like field development regional, She's with corporate, but she's also the CEO's daughter. And at the time, she was the #1 income earner, Black Diamond, which Black Diamond is not even a rank on the chart, but what it means is that she earned $100,000 a month for 6 consecutive months. That's how you hit Black Diamond. I'm going to say it again because you're going to think what I thought, that she like misspoke. $100,000 a month for 6 months in a row from this business only. And she hit Black Diamond. I can't make money. Nobody wants these products. Wrong. Okay, so just side note. Anyway, so she was a Black Diamond, okay? So I had my blinders on so much that I'm sitting in this training and I'm about to go Ruby, and I didn't even know what a Ruby was. The only reason I knew I was about to go Ruby is because my enroller had called me and she was like, you're only a couple orders away from Ruby. And I was like, what is a Ruby? Okay, I don't recommend being that like unknowledgeable, like know what a Ruby is, and if you don't, ask your enroller. But I had my blinders on. I didn't know who anyone else was. I wasn't watching top leaders and trying to be them. I was just being myself. And I did a lot of things wrong, and it probably would have helped to have a little bit of balance where I was watching what they were doing and mimicking that, but in my own style. But I also didn't even know who anybody was. So whenever Cami was talking, I looked over at the girl next to me who had like a double diamond chart out, and I was like, whoa. I was like, so who is this lady talking? I was like, is she like in the top or something? And the girl was like, she's like the #1 income earner. I was like, she was VV annoyed that I sat next to her, I'm pretty sure, because I kept talking to her the whole time. I was like, so what is this? Like, I'm like that person in the movies. Anyways, but she was like very like not having it. And so I was like, so who is this? She's like a top income earner. And she was like, she's literally the #1 income earner, like Black Diamond, Cami Pentecost. And I was like, oh, cool. All right. Like I had no idea. But it served me well in a lot of aspects because I wasn't looking left and looking right. I wasn't trying to be Courtney Boer. I wasn't trying to be Cheyenne Knox. I wasn't trying to be Jade Hooper. I wasn't trying to be Carrie Young. I wasn't trying to be Allie or Megan or whoever. I was just trying to be me and the best me that I could be, and really stepping into that served me well. So me looking at everybody else right next to me, the people who went ambassador last month and I didn't, me looking at them and thinking, I can never do what they do. That's not serving. So cancel that thought. But instead, I'm going to look at them and be like, I am so close. Like they did it last month. I know I can do it this month. And they're cheering me on. I know I can do this. Like if they can do it, so can I. So you get to choose what you think of when you watch these people. You get to pick. So decide that you are going to look at them and think, I feel empowered because they did this and I know that it's possible for me. But put your blinders on. Don't look left and don't look right. Do the work that it takes to get where you want to be. It's not going to come without effort. And I'm talking so much about belief and momentum and excitement and hype and do this and do that and your mindset, because this business is 80% mindset, but it's also 20% really freaking hard work. And if you're not willing to do the work that it takes to get where you want to go, don't expect to get there. You can't expect to get where you want to go if you're not actually doing the work that it takes. Like I said, you don't just pop in eSuite and think, oh, I just promoted an ambassador. I didn't even realize. That's cool. No, it's intentional. It's compounded over time. It's not working yourself 12 hours a day for 2 days of the month and then taking the rest of it off because you're exhausted and you've burnt yourself out. I would much rather you work 1 hour a day for 30 days in a row than for you to work 10 hours a day for 3 days, because both ways you're working 30 hours and one of them is going to be very intentional and it's going to make a difference. It's going to help you and benefit you. And one way is literally just going to leave you exhausted, drained, and without any benefits. So you're not going to get any reward from that because you worked for 3 days and then missed all the seeds that you sowed. You weren't around for the harvest. And so make sure that you are being consistent, that you're doing the work. The work is very simple. The work is very fun. You know, I was talking about this last month too. I said that what we do is not hard, okay? The things that are going on in families' lives right now around the world and around the country, that's hard, okay? The things that we're dealing with right now, just in the things that are happening around the world, like y'all know I'm talking about, that's hard. Going off to war is hard. Losing a loved one is hard. Having medical things happen, finding out, family members are not doing well, that's hard. Talking to somebody on Instagram and letting them know, hey, we've got some amazing products. I'd love for you to try them. Would you be interested? And hearing no, that's not hard. It's like going through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A and they ask if you want a large fry and you say no. They're not throwing their headset off and walking out of the restaurant. You just said no thank you. And they're like, okay, fine. No big deal. My pleasure. Right? Like, they're not mad. So don't get frustrated and think that this is so hard. Yes, choose your hard. Because for me, hard in 2015 was going to 2 jobs I hated from 9 a.m. to midnight and saying no to every single thing my family asked me to come and do. Saying I couldn't make it to Easter. I couldn't make it to graduation. I couldn't make it to birthday parties because I had to work and I didn't have the money to fly down there. That was hard. Me waking up at 7:30 a.m. when I don't have a daggone place to be just so I can work this business and lead a really successful team, that's not hard. That's not hard at all. So choose your hard. Because I'd much rather do this hard than the other hard and the alternative any day of the week. So choose your hard. We already talked about momentum. And then the other thing too is just staying focused. Right now, I know it's summer. I know it's sunny. If you live up north, you're like, hallelujah, it's not 32 degrees. Let's go. Shorts weather, it's 40 degrees. I'm all about it. I'm out on the beach. Like, I get it. But the other thing is, like, we already talked about, like, this summer, make time for this business anyways. And we'll go on the beach. We'll go out on the boat. We'll go to the pool. I work at the pool a lot. That's like my favorite spot to work. And they just freaking ended the stay-at-home order for Michigan. So can we just all like clap? If your camera's on, just clap for us Michiganders, because we've had just quite the time. Like, we're watching all you people down south and in Indiana just get your nails done and stuff, and I look like a 13-year-old boy, so I'm just real excited right now. My hair is long and everything, like all the, yeah. Okay, Sarah, I see you, girl. I already know Georgia's open, okay? Anyways, so, stay focused, which I clearly can't do. I just had to laugh at myself of how unfocused I was talking about being focused. So, whenever you are thinking about doing all these things, these summer activities, my best advice to you is carve out an hour of time before your activities get started for the day, fit everything for your business in that hour, and work it throughout the day in the little pockets of your time. That is what I do every single day, whether I have something to do or not. But the days I don't have anything to do, I'll give it a little bit more work. I'll put a little bit more effort in. But I never miss my 6 list, ever. That's posting, messaging, adding people to your network, following up, and self-development, talking to your team. That's what we do every day. And the messaging is host to post, okay? So I never miss those days, even on the days that we're at the lake, even on the days that we're on a family vacation. I wake up an hour before everybody else wakes up. And I go over to my little spot and I have my stuff. You know, like, you can get this stuff done, but you just have to be intentional about it. So stay really focused. And so figure out what your new why is. So many of you hit goals last month and you're like, I feel good. This is awesome. Like, I'm going for double now. Like, I'm going for diamond. I'm going to hit ruby. But why? Why? Tell me what your why is in the chat. What's your why? And don't give me a dollar amount. Because here's the reality. If you if you're working every single day to make $300 a month, you're going to easily, when things get hard, you'll give up on that $300 a month pretty quick. Nah, we have a family vacation. $300 is fine. No big deal, whatever. But what Cami Pentecost always said was, I would give up on $3,000 a month. That was my why. I'd give up on that when things got hard. But when I knew that I wanted $3,000 a month because it would allow me to stay at home with my kids, when things got hard, I still would never give up on my kids. So find a why that's that strong. Because you'll give up on the $3,000, but you'll never give up on your kids. For those of us who don't have kids, maybe that looks like quitting your job. I know Emily doesn't have kids, Emily Scotney, but she doesn't like her job at all. And so she would quit that job today if she could. And that's why she pushes so hard every day, because she freaking hates waking up, going to work. And that's a reminder of her. That's what she's pushing for. But so that means Emily's also not going to make her job an excuse as to why she doesn't have time to do this business. I've never heard Emily say, well, I just don't have time to get on a Zoom. I haven't had time to do my 6 list today. It's easy to say that, but guys, you're making your why your excuse. Well, I don't have money to do this business. You don't have money not to do this business. That's why you joined. It doesn't take any money to run this business if you run it efficiently and effectively. If you're actually putting in the work, it costs $0 to do this business. You don't have the money not to do this. If you're struggling with money, then work the business. If you don't have time, then you need the business. If you want more freedom to be able to hang out with your family, work your business. And I say that in the most loving way possible because it's the truth. So many of you are giving up on yourselves, and I don't want to see you give up on yourself because you're worth more than that. And so is your family. So figure out what your why is. And it can't be, at one time I was talking to somebody who, it was on a different team, but she was a diamond. And I said, so what's your why? And she said, I want to stay at home with my kids. I said, that's awesome. What would you need to do to be able to stay at home with your kids? She said, well, I already stay at home with my kids. Okay. So like your why can't be something that you already do or something that you already have. That's like, I don't know, a good like analogy for that. But like your why can't be something that you already do. And you don't have to want to quit your job, by the way. You can stay at your job if that's what you love to do. But wouldn't it be nice to stay at a job that you love because you love it? And genuinely, I think about Beth Balling. She loves what she does, but she needs that job less than they need her. And that's a good spot to be in, where you go to your job because you just freaking love it. Not because you have to go so you can get a paycheck. Derek, my husband, he gets to manage a CrossFit gym because he just loves it. He would never have to work there again if he didn't want to, but he just loves what he does. And so the fact that he gets to do it every day because he wants to is just so rewarding to him. He doesn't feel like he has to drag himself out of bed and make sure that he goes to work or else we can't pay our light bill. Okay. Okay. I'm making sure I go through all my stuff and then I'm going to have the girls speak. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is how close we are to ambassadors. So we brought in the amount of volume. So our volume, if you don't know much about ambassadors, the top rank in the company. That's what we're shooting for this month. We're shooting for that last month too. We just barely missed it. Honestly, we just barely missed it because every single promotion that needed to happen on the chart happened. And so every single other thing just needs to be the volume. We just have to hit 250,000 in group volume total sales. Okay. So and that may seem like, oh my gosh, to some of you, but like, you're just not there yet. And that's okay. So don't let that be overwhelming to you because you're going to go Ruby and you're going to get your shopping spree before you even worry about ambassador. But as a team, that's our goal. And every single person who's on this Zoom is a part of making that happen. And you're all so important to this, okay? So that's one thing that I want you to know. The other thing is that our volume, let me think of my months because it's confusing me that we're in June and not May. May felt like, 87 years long. I was like, oh my gosh, it's still May. I would look at pictures that I took on May 1st and I was like, that was this month? Whew, holy cow, it felt like 2017. How in the world? Okay. So the volume that we brought in April to May. So from April to May, we brought in 40,000 new volume. But then from May, or I guess like the end of May, we had almost 65,000 more volume last month in May than we did in April. So from March, when we were maintaining triple, to last month, our volume went up 110,000 in 2 months. That's y'all. Like, that's freaking just nuts, dude. Like, our volume more than doubled. So it's absolutely crazy. Like, we're just crazy things are happening. So why I told you that is because, number one, I feel like if I'm not super real with you where we're at, you're not going to know the severity of it. You're not going to realize like what we actually truly need. And I just need you to know exactly where we're at so you can know where we're going. I don't feel like there's any benefit to me hiding any of the numbers from you. Okay, like you're gonna know when we hit 250. So why not tell you all along the way so you know exactly how hard you need to push? The amount of volume that we brought in last month is exactly how much we need to bring in again. Okay, so we need to hit where we were last month, but then we also need to bring in 60,000 new volume this month. Okay, when you break that down into how many people we have on our team, that's so doable. So doable, especially with the momentum, okay? So we're really close and we were gonna hit it this month. They also extended bonuses, which I didn't think they were gonna do, and I wasn't gonna wait for it anyways. Like we were going ambassador this month come hell or high water no matter what. But then they also extended the bonuses for triple and above, and so I just feel like that was just confirmation, and God was like, all right, here you go, you've been faithful, there you go, you're gonna get your bonus too, because I was already like, I don't even care if I get a bonus. Derek's sister actually asked me, she was like, how close are you to promotion? I was like, come look at my chart, and I was like, it's all done. And she's like, so you're gonna promote? I was like, no, we're gonna miss it by the volume, but that's okay because we're gonna get hit it next month. And she's like, will you still get your bonus? I was like, nope, but we're gonna hit it anyways, and I don't even care. And then they extended them, so I was so excited. But yes, take care of your customers. It definitely helps. We can build on top of the volume. Okay, so really quick, let's have the triple speak. So Allie, I see you on here, so I'll just have you speak really quick. I unmuted you, but will you just talk a little bit, just for like a minute or two, about complacency maybe that you had in your business and why it's like not good?
Yeah, I would say the biggest spot of complacency that I've had in my business, I'll be in 3 years. This month actually will be 3 years on the 24th, which is actually crazy. When I joined, I went really fast because I didn't know anything different. Went Ruby in my first month, Diamond in my third month, and I only realized that that was crazy after I went Diamond in my third month like, because people were like, you did that, like telling me that it wasn't normal. And I sat on that. I was like, oh, I did that. Like, you know, and I like thrived on and lived on that story for so long. Sure, I said I was going to double diamond, but I'll be honest, like my checks were good. Like I had the title, and that it I wasn't pushing. Like it would be the first like week of the month and I'm like, yeah, we're promoting, yay, promotions in the month, and then watch Netflix for 2 weeks and then try to figure out why my team wasn't promoting, try to figure out why numbers on my chart weren't moving. And I just got really real with myself and I was like, what is missing? Talked with Morgan, and the biggest shift was my mindset and figuring out what my strengths were and how to use that to my advantage to move forward. Because I really quickly realized that I like to work hard, but if there's not an emotional tie to it, then I don't have a push. So like pouring into leadership, making that I'm pushing for other people, and somehow I ended up here at Triple Diamond like a year later, and it's just absolutely so crazy. So find the little nooks and crannies of your business that really need your help. And I heard Jade Hooper say this actually 2 weeks ago on Zoom. That she did, that I was watching on YouTube, and she said there's always going to be another goal. You're never done. Even at the place that she is in this business, ambassador and then some, with like a whole bunch of million of top enrollers underneath her, there's always going to be something more. You hit your goal, okay, cool. There's, your new distributor that's going to be shooting for Ruby. There's a new distributor that's going to be getting their shopping spree. There's somebody who is super close to their promotion and you need to help them. There's always going to be something next for you to push for. So that's just my little bit of advice, that if you hit your promotion, you're like, and now what? Really take a hard look at your team, because there's always somebody that could really use your hand. And once they see that they can do it, it's going to benefit you and your team in the long run.
Ooh, that was so good. I love that. Put a 1 in the chat if you're like, yep, that's me. Or that has been me. That was really good. I love what you said about like somebody told you that that wasn't normal and you were like, oh, cool. And you like sat there for a little bit. I feel like that's very relatable. And yeah, it's definitely not beneficial. And like, just because you're done with your goals doesn't mean that your team has hit theirs. I know that was the case for me for so long. I was like, I went diamond, I quit my job. And there were people on my team joining that really wanted to make an extra $500 a month, and it made me a bad leader because I was so secure with where I was that I wasn't pushing them to be where they wanted to be because I didn't think I needed to go any further, you know? So, hair flip. Okay, let's see. Where is, I'm trying to find Chloe or Macy. I see Chloe's name on here. Okay, actually I see Macy, so I'm just gonna unmute you. There you go. I'll spotlight your video.
No, you're fine. Oh my gosh, and then it zooms in on your face, like
I just
right here.
I spotlighted your video.
I was like, oh my gosh. Emily, if you spell my name wrong one more time, I'll love you to death, but it's not how you spell it, but it's okay. I love you. She spells my name so wrong all the time, and it's so funny. Anyway, so I'll kind of highlight off of that because when I went double, or no, oh my gosh, back up. When I went diamond, that's when I got complacent, and it was because I thought, oh my gosh, I just hit this big rank and everybody talks about it. Now I'm good. Now I can sit back. And I listened to a lot of personal development books, and one of them mentioned a couple of days ago, it had mentioned like the moment that you stop, you should be concerned with yourself, because just like Allie said, and I could just highlight on everything she said because it was all perfect, the moment that you stop, you should be worried because you should always be wanting to push forward. And I think that's something that I had honestly struggled with, is like Morgan talks about this all the time, but just wanting more. And I felt like if you wanted more, that was greedy or that was selfish. And that is not the case, because when you're wanting constantly more, you're showing other people and you're empowering other people like, hey, they can go after their goals too. And so that means you just kind of have like a trickle effect go down into it, because when people continue to see you push, then they're like, okay, I'm not done yet. I don't have to sit at this, rank and make, paycheck to paycheck. I don't have to do this. I can go for more. And I think it's like a lot. And when you get to a certain rank, I would say it starts probably at like emerald or diamond. You start realizing that it's not about you and it's about helping other people. And during that time, and if you're staying complacent and you're not growing, it amplifies what could go wrong. I'm not saying that everything can go wrong. That's not the case. But like when you have activity going, and this is with anything in your life, if you have activity going during like, I'm trying to say, people say this all the time, and one of my other leaders in my other job says this all the time, but like activity produces, I don't even know how to say it. I'm really bad at it. I'm so sorry. I just blanked on that. But anyways, so I think that's like the biggest part, is just not being complacent and knowing that wanting more is totally fine. And you're going to actually show yourself in new levels and new ranks that there's so much more to grab. There's so much more to do. There's so many more things to like see. And I don't know, like what Allie said was so perfect. I don't know how else to explain it. I got so complacent, and that really showed, and I will never go back to that again. I'm already looking towards the future, and you grow confidence, and you help other people grow confidence in that time too. My mind kind of went blank as soon as I started videoing, so I'm sorry, but
You're good.
Yeah.
That was good. Thank you. I'm glad that she touched on that too, because I think that a lot of people do feel that way, because you come into this business barely being able to pay your bills, and then you're able to, pay more than your bills, and then you still were telling you like, no, go for more, and you're like, but I can already pay my bills, like what more could I want? But guys, like when you can barely pay your bills, or when you're just able to pay your bills, what's left over for you to give abundantly to those who still can't? It's so hard to give from an empty wallet. It's so hard to give food from an empty pocket. You want to be the person, if you have been so blessed, you want to turn around and be the blessing. And I can tell you right now, like, because of this business, my husband and I are able to give more in a month than we used to make in a month. And that's only because of this business. So it's not selfish to want more, because I know how many people we're able to help because we do. And if I had stopped wanting more, I wouldn't have enrolled the people that I enrolled in the last couple of weeks that I see their faces on this Zoom. And that makes me excited, because I know their life is about to change, because I'm just not okay with just being okay. I want more, not for me, not all for me. And it's not really to change the way that you live, although it could, and there's nothing wrong with that either, but it's really just to change the way that you're able to give. and change the amount of blessings that you're able to pour out on other people. Okay, so the last one is Chloe. So I'm going to unmute you. I see you. I finally found you. I'm glad that you're not on the plane.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like kind of, oh, that's why. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I just booked it out of work. Like, I think my coworkers are probably a little upset with me. I literally just ran out of there so fast. Can you repeat that question for me, Morgan, just so I don't get too sidetracked?
Yeah, so just talking about complacency, like when are some times in your business where you've gotten complacent or, go ahead.
I mean, like, I've never gotten complacent, ever. No, okay, so I joined this business like 3.5 years ago. I think I'm exactly at 3.5 years this month. And similar to Allie, I went really fast. I was like Ruby in a month, Emerald in 4 months. I was like a mass enroller, and like I didn't know that was cool. Like, I signed like 20-something customers my first month. I didn't know that was cool until someone told me it was cool, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm kind of the shit. And I got cocky. And with that attitude, a lot of bad came from the cocky attitude, like that I am a diamond leader, like I am more than, I am so cool, whatever. A lot of bad came for that because what happened is I started focusing more on titles than inner work and what was going on in my team. I remember specifically being super jealous of Allie. I remember sitting on my stairs and she messaged me and she told me she had just gone diamond, and I'm pretty sure Allie went diamond before me, and I was so jealous, and I don't even think she knows that, but it got to this point where I started getting resentful of people that like were my best friends in the business because I started focusing more on their business than mine. And what happens with that is obviously you're not going to go anywhere when you're looking on the outside. So I wasn't in this business for a year and a half, and people say that they come back, like they have comebacks and they were out of the business and it sucked because their paycheck was bad. But let me tell you why you should not get complacent. Look at your team now and the relationships you have on your team, and imagine all of those friendships gone, because that's what happens. So much more will happen to your business if you become complacent, and it hurts so much more to lose those relationships with your teammates, to lose that awesome connection you have, because it takes a lot of work to get that connection back with your team. And it's just, I don't even know what more to say about that, but with complacency comes so much more than the lack of the paycheck. It comes lack of belief in yourself. You get really insecure, you lose all your confidence, you feel resentful towards the business. So much happens. That's my point there. And I'm just looking back at what I have done in the past 4 months. I was gone for a year and a half, keep in mind. In the past 4 months, I have gone diamond, double, triple, and I'm about to go presidential. Can you imagine where I would be if that year and a half I pulled my head out of my ass and said, you know what, like, what matters is my team success, no one else's. I would be probably working on an ambassador, like my 2.0 ambassador. So sorry, that was very like kind of aggressive. Wow. But that's I think all I have to say about it is there's so much more bad that comes from complacency than you can even imagine. And like we say repetitively, momentum is so easy to lose but so hard to gain. So if you're feeling this momentum, keep going. When you go diamond and you're on this high, I know tonight you're gonna be like, oh, I went diamond, I can take a break. Nope, fucking I'm so sorry, y'all, I have a potty mouth. But don't be complacent. It's hurtful to your team. Think of all the work your team has done for you. What you cannot do to them is be complacent, because that's not fair. That's using them at that point. So I don't know if that was helpful. That's all I have to say about that.
I love you. That was perfect. Thank you, Chloe. Oh my gosh. So guys, this is so crazy. Like, every single person on this team has a different background. Every single person on this team has a different personality. Every single person on this team had their own journey. You see some people who, got complacent and then they didn't work for a little bit. You saw them do that at diamond. You saw them do that at double. You saw, you know, Macy, who's just still been grinding it out, but just got complacent because she was worried that she was wanting more and that was just selfish. And there's just so many different reasons, but basically the bottom line and what we're trying to get you to understand is that you have to burn your trophies. Decide right now that the thing that you did last month was cool then, but it's no longer cool. You get 24 hours to celebrate and now you're done. And now I want you to go after the next thing. And it's not me being harsh or saying that you didn't do a great job, but it's saying you still got more to do. You did not come this far to only come this far. I believe in you being able to do so much more than you have been doing and like that you have already done. Like there's more for you here. So don't do what we've done. We're telling you our story so that you can just learn from our mistakes instead of having to learn them on your own. This ambassador promotion is a movement. It truly is a movement. So it's not that we claimed it last month, but this is our ambassador run. This is our ambassador promotion push, and it's continuing into this month. And so it doesn't matter if we hit ambassador yesterday or if we hit it in 30 days from now. We are an ambassador team, and this is going to take every single one of us banding together and rallying together. So before we get off the Zoom, I just want to get a 1 on the chat from people who are like, yep, let's go. I'm all in and let's do this. Like, I'm going with you. I want to know who's running with me. I want to know who's ready to not get complacent, who's ready to just run after every single promotion that they're shooting for, and more, that you know what your teams are pushing for and that you're rooting them on and that you're rallying your own troops so that we can just blow past this promotion and just not only hit ambassador, but just freaking smoke it. Like, I want to just blow right past ambassador, like on the 25th. Like, I got big goals and big dreams now at this point. I'm like, if we didn't hit ambassador last month, we're going to do it on the 25th of this month. Like, we're going to do it real big. So every single person on this team matters, not only for a promotion, but you just matter in general. And I'm really glad that you're here. And I'm really glad that you're on this team. And I truly believe that you're here for a reason and for a purpose and for such a time as this, because there really has never been a time like this in our company. And so I'm just very thankful for y'all. And I love y'all very much. And I hope that y'all have an awesome week. And if y'all have any questions, you know that you can always come and find us. We have a team chat if you're not a part of that and you would like to be. Get with your enroller and let them know that you want to be added to that chat. It's not really anything super special. We just kind of shout out some enrollments and encourage each other. You can ask questions there. So let your enroller know that you want to be added. If you've finished your training and have a good grasp on things, they'll add you then at that point. But I hope that you'll have an awesome night. Thanks for sticking around. Bye, guys.